And we're here with the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Kirk Muller. Well, this is a difficult spot for you, obviously, right now, because you're not doing what you get technically paid to do. But since you're down here watching the American Hockey League, I just want to ask you a few questions about the Charlotte Checkers and their prospects, some potential players for you. When you look at this season first, as we talk in a general sense, and you're watching the AHL go on, does anything strike you in terms of the similarity and intensity of play in terms of the NHL and the American Hockey League, or are there any glaring gaps in the way these games are played?
No, I think what's fascinating is how this league is getting better and better, and I think it's an indication of the players today, that how many good players are out there, and it filters right through from the NHL down to the American Hockey League. And coming and seeing some of the games here live and coaching last year in Milwaukee, I got a firsthand opportunity to see these guys, and the tempo's great. There's some skill level out there. There's guys that are committed, they're hungry, and that's the fun thing about this level, is the guys have want it so bad that they're just waiting for that one door to open and have that opportunity, and when it happens, they got to be ready to take it.
How important was it for you to be a head coach in the American League level with Milwaukee, and then to make the transition to the National Hockey League? Was that time in your career, your coaching career, vital for you?
It was interesting enough for me. I found, the fact of playing in the NHL as a player, I saw it from one aspect, how an NHL player feels and acts during that, your time during the NHL. Coaching in Milwaukee last year, I saw the way it operated in the minors about the players and, how they go about it, and it educated me on certain ways of looking for players and really scouting them to see if there are guys that can come up and help us with our team. And so I think it's important to understand where they're coming from, what they think they need to do in order to make it where. So I think the communication level between, Jeff, who does a great job here with our coaching staff up there, the management and everything, to make sure the players understand this is what we want from you, this is why you're part of our organization, do these things that try to get you into the NHL quicker.
That's an interesting point, and I think it draws to the next question about the Kirk Muller system everyone's talking about, the implementation of playing a more up-tempo type game here in Charlotte, which is something they hadn't done traditionally in the past. But your implementation of your system seems to be getting rave reviews from the players, and it manifests itself in wins on the ice. Can you talk about what you want to see from both the Hurricanes players and the Checkers players every time they step on the ice?
Well, I think it starts with, like I say, Jeff and Jordy have done a great job here, coach and staff. We sat down in the summer, we went over it. It shows how we're all together in the organization and on the same track, and then they're able to really just implement and communicate that with the players here. And it's simple. It's just we want guys that are going to be hard to play against, and we want guys that want to work, we want guys that want to skate, and we want a high-tempo game. And the only way you can do it is, push each other and make everyone accountable and play a tempo of a game that, if you look at the players here in Charlotte, there's a lot of finesse guys, a lot of guys that can skate, got good skill, and you put that together with a high tempo, and I think you see some good responses of the win categories, which is important, but they're getting their production, they're producing, and and I think they're developing to the point where we hope to bring them up to Raleigh and get them in there in the NHL.
Let's talk about a few players quickly. One of the guys they signed out of Union College, Jeremy Welsh, centerman for the Charlotte Checkers, transition from the college game to the pro game. What have you seen thus far from him?
Well, it shows, like you said earlier, this is a good league, and you can do really well in college, you can do really well in junior in Europe, but you're coming over here with a group of guys that are close to making the NHL, and what people don't understand is the grind that it is, the skate every day, and to play 3 games in 3 days is a real test, not physically sometimes as much as mental, and how to play the game using your head and not just your body, your feet and legs and everything. So I think he's adapting well. We're seeing progress, and we knew it'd be a little bit of a challenge for him, and he's taking it in stride. He's working hard. It's not used to. Or he's probably not used to not getting the production, but it will come, and we just got to make sure he understands, work the details, do the little things, and everything will just kind of fall into place.
Bobby Sanguinetti on the back end played for you a little bit last year. a guy who was clearly MVP of the Charlotte Checkers season last year, really helped salvage a lot of the year. But Bobby's a guy who can move the puck extraordinarily well, quarterback on the power play. What have you seen from a former number one first-round draft pick in the National Hockey League?
See a guy that's mature. He's, sometimes you pick up these players at the right time of their career. He's been great in the room. You see a guy that's, he's committed. He wants it. He had a taste of it. Now, dangle the carrot a bit that he wants to get back there. He's the type of players we're looking for. He's skilled. He can move the puck. He can add to your power play, and that's the type of things we're looking for. D is guys that can move the puck to our forwards and let them the opportunity to go and attack.
Brett Sutter is the captain of the Charlotte Checkers, a kid who has worked for everything he's been able to achieve. One of the hardest working guys on the ice every single night. Without number 7, a lot of things don't really work. You may get the production, but you win as a team with Brett Sutter. He seems to be a meat and potatoes kind of player, but also is able to add in terms of production as well this season. What have you seen from Brett Sutter?
Well, I see a guy that went home this summer and worked on his skating, which was the part of the game that we asked him to work on, and that's the character of who he is. He's a captain here for a reason. He went back, he worked on his skating. You see, he has an extra step, and ironically, he's getting some production. So we want to make sure he understands what his identity is still. But adding offensive production is a bonus. I'm sure he feels good about it because probably to him, he probably feels it's a reward of the hard work he did, and that's what we're looking for, guys that want to keep getting better and do it within the team play.
I want to thank you for taking the time to sit with us this morning, and it's a pleasure having you around the Charlotte area for the time being, but let's hope you get up to Raleigh pretty soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, good to be here.